Deep inside your brain right now, there's a rhythm, a kind of hidden pulse. And what if I told you that pulse might be the actual language of your thoughts? Today, we're going to dive into a discovery that is absolutely shaking up neuroscience. We're talking about everything from healing the brain to, well, questioning what reality even is.
I know, it sounds a little bit like science fiction, right? But this isn't a movie. This is the big question that scientists are wrestling with today. And it's a question that just blows the doors open to some incredible possibilities, but also some really profound challenges. And it all comes down to one single specific frequency.
So, what is this magic frequency? Well, we're talking about gamma waves. These things are fast. We're talking about brain oscillations that are pulsing at 40 times every single second. The neuroscientist Georgi Buzaki has this amazing way of putting it. He calls them the syntax of thought. Just think about that for a second. If your ideas are the words, then gamma waves are the grammar that puts them together into a coherent sentence. It's what lets all the different parts of your brain actually talk to each other.
Okay, so this isn't just some cool abstract idea. This is where it gets really real. Probably the most exciting, mind-blowing application is in the fight against diseases like Alzheimer's. And let me tell you, the promise here is, well, it's nothing short of extraordinary.
And this is where your jaw might hit the floor. This is from the researcher Li-Hui Tsai. Her team took mice with Alzheimer's-like symptoms, and they just exposed them to light and sound flickering at 40 hertz. And what happened? It actually started to clear out the physical junk of Alzheimer's. The amyloid plaques and tau tangles that literally clog up the brain. And get this, we're not talking about a temporary fix. These were actual structural changes to the brain.
But, of course, in science, it's never that simple, is it? We have to bring in a crucial counterpoint, again from George Buzaki. He's basically saying, hold on a second. The brain isn't just a clogged sink that you can just clear out and, voila, it's fixed. He argues that real healing isn't just about cleaning up the mess, it's about restoring the communication, the actual functional dynamics between the brain cells.
So, okay, if it's not an outright cure, then what is it? Well, another neuroscientist, Christopher Moore, came up with a really powerful way to think about it. He calls it CPR for the mind. And that kind of clicks, right? The idea is that this 40 hertz stimulation might not magically bring a damaged brain back to life all on its own, but it could create the perfect conditions for recovery. It's like it keeps the brain's essential rhythm going, giving it a real fighting chance to start healing itself.
All right, let's zoom out for a minute. We're going to shift gears from the physical brain to one of the biggest, deepest mysteries there is. If this simple rhythm is so fundamental to how our brain works, could it actually be connected to consciousness itself? The very feeling that you're alive and experiencing the world.
Yeah, and when you ask scientists about consciousness, you're not going to get one simple answer. The debate is pretty fascinating, as you can see here. On one side, you've got people like Li-Hui Tsai, who think this rhythm could be a major driver of it, or Catherine Talon-Badri, who calls it the conscious spark. I love that. But then you have the more cautious camp. Buzaki says, no, it's just the scaffolding. It's not the actual orchestra playing the music. And Ola Jensen sees it as just one important gear in a machine that's way, way more complex. Okay, so you can probably see where this is going. The moment you figure out how to influence one of the brain's core rhythms, you've suddenly stepped out of the pure science lab. Now you're in a total minefield of ethics, technology, and really tough questions about control. And yeah, this is where things get really complicated.
And it really is a double-edged sword. I mean, just imagine the utopian promise. You could have preventative neural fitness sessions, like going to the gym for your brain. We could have personalized medicine that tunes our minds perfectly, a future where we can gently tweak our own mood and attention. Sounds amazing, right? But then you have to look at the other side, the dystopian peril. A world where this kind of cognitive enhancement just makes the gap between the rich and poor even wider. Or imagine your boss requiring you to attend optimization sessions to be more productive. Yikes.
And those aren't just hypotheticals. They translate into some very real, concrete risks. I think the biggest danger here is oversimplification. We could start looking at a number on a brain scan and think it represents actual, genuine human focus or happiness. That's a slippery slope. And we could absolutely see a future where access to this tech creates a brand new kind of inequality, a cognitive divide. Seriously, this is the kind of stuff that keeps ethicists staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m.
So all of this, the science, the tech, the ethics, it brings us to a final and maybe the most profound question of all. If we step back from the devices and the therapies for a second, what does all this really tell us about what it even means to be human?
And this is a really big one, so say with me. This research is pointing to something that might feel a little strange at first. That feeling you have of being you, that solid, continuous self that's been there your whole life. Neuroscience is kind of suggesting that might be an illusion. That instead of being a solid thing, the self is more like music. It's a dynamic pattern, a rhythm that your brain is working constantly every single second to sustain.
And what's so wild is that this isn't even a brand new idea. It actually lines up beautifully with insights from ancient traditions, like meditation and philosophy. For centuries, thinkers have been saying that consciousness isn't some fixed thing that you have. It's a process. It's a flow. And now, it's like our fancy modern brain scans are finally catching up, and we're able to see the very rhythm of that ancient idea.
I think Georgi Bouzaki just nails it with this quote. He basically says it all. This rhythm isn't just some interesting little biological quirk. It is fundamental to having a coherent life. He says, lose the rhythm and life fragments. Keep it and life sings. It's just so simple and so powerful.
So that's where we are. We're standing on the edge of being able to literally tune the music of our own minds. It's a power that holds this incredible promise of healing, and at the same time, the deep peril of control. And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? As we learn how to rewrite the score of our own consciousness, who should be the one holding the conductor's baton?